For this video, I'll start with some backstory. Catherine and I, or Kat and I, one of our sole contracts is connecting through music and movies. And so when we were young, we stayed connected energetically through movies we watched and music we listened to, even though we lived on other sides of the world. And so ever since we came in, we've been communicating with our guides as well through movies and music, as well as each other through movies and music, in order to stay energetically aligned. And so we get a lot of messages and understandings where we would be told to go watch this movie, or the song would play and then we would find where it's from, and then we would watch it or listen to it, and then further information would come in terms of the understanding, so on and so forth. So the other day, Kat walked in the house and she was singing the Candyman. And so when she was singing the Candyman, I walked over and I put on Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the first one. And we watched the movie, and in that movie, the song The Candyman, the last lines of that song are, "The Candyman mixes it with love to make the world taste good. And the Candyman makes the world taste good because he thinks it should." Let that sink in for a moment. The Candyman makes the world taste good because he thinks it should. So then come this morning, I was in meditation and I asked, why hasn't some of my desires, some of the things I want, come into reality? And the response was that line to the song on loop. The Candyman makes the world taste good because the Candyman thinks he should. And I started thinking, and I started observing all of the requests that I was waiting to come into my life, that I've asked for, that haven't come. And I realized that there are massive amount of conditions on them, why they should exist, why I want them, how I want them. But more specifically, it's I'll wait until I have a reason to drive that car. I'll wait until I have a reason to take that vacation. I will wait until a holiday or a special celebration to go to this or to go do that. And it made me decide I need to share this talk. Because how many of you are doing that on a daily basis? Now, we know of inventions and creations that have been shared with us, that has been given to people, that were never created because of the simple fact that it did not have monetary value. However, those creations that were given to them would be very valuable in some of the trackings that we look into, some of the developments of how to monitor different things that we are trying to figure out now on the planet. And it would have led to pieces of the puzzle that we're missing right now. However, they were never created because they could not justify how it would make money. It was never created because they could not find a way to justify its existence outside of, I just want to create this. Now, we know corporations do this because we do it in the corporations. There's a lot of people who work in companies who did not create something because it was too expensive, or they did not create something because they could not find a use case in the business that would actually make sense for them to create it at this time. And that happens on a macro scale. But what are you doing on the micro scale? What are you doing in your own life where you are not creating something because you need to justify its existence in order for you to find value for you having it? Because the key thing about that song and all of the Wonka movies is about creating a world of your own and creating the world in the way in which you want to see it. And when we go back to the Candyman, Candyman did not create chocolate and candy because it would sell, because it wanted to go on vacation, because the family needed money and this was the creative way that it could produce some way to make money. It created candy for the world to taste good because it thought it should. That's it. That's it. So what are you creating or not creating because it should just exist to you? You want it to just exist. Can you create what you want because you want it? No other reason. We are creator beings. We create. That's what we do. Can creating just be enough? Can I want it to exist be enough? Can the fact that it is your desire be enough to call forth the existence of anything that you want? Because when that becomes the only reason for something to exist, because I want it, and you have no other attachments to it, you will start to find that so many things of your desires, so many things that you want, is sitting right in front of you, waiting to come into your life. And the only reason why it's not there is because you are trying to justify receiving it.